morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of my wonderful and juicy and delicious little subscribers out there. And how I love you all so, and I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful and super duper delicious, and that life is treating you oh so deliciously. So what do? 3, 2, 1, beam me up, Scotty. Okay, my delicious little babies, yes, my lots of juicy and bright. Yes, they are. Keep shining that light. Now then, my delicious little babies, it's after 4 p.m. in our UK today. Of course, the weather, well, is dark, cloudy. It's been raining. We've had a tiny bit of sunshine, a very tiny bit of sunshine, my delicious little babies. And of course, you could hardly see any blue skies, okay, my delicious little babies. But of course, you know, this is what they're doing now, isn't it, my delicious little babies? Yes, okay. Now then, can I please just say to you, I haven't got any videos today, but I want to tell you something. So please, if you could, please and thank you, go on to our lovely UK column, okay, my delicious babies. So search engine of your choice. If you could please and thank you, please type in UK space column, okay, my delicious little babies. And then of course, you know, you should have reached your destination, okay, my delicious little babies. Now then, you can also find them on YouTube. They do little clips, and of course you can also find them on BitChute. So again, a search engine of your choice, my delicious little babies. UK column, space column, space bar, BitChute, and then you should have reached your destination. Yes, very interesting, my delicious little babies. Now, I'm not surprised one bit at parts of the video that I've heard. No, I'm not. Okay, my delicious little babies, because I've always wondered why they would need to, when somebody very sadly passes away, my delicious little babies, and that somebody else now feels the need to come along, cut out parts of our insides and wear them, and then puts them all back in a little bag, apparently, in one's body, it seems. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now, I found this, there we are, and this is years back. I found this really strange, because I thought, well, why would somebody's want to do that? Do you see what I mean? I mean, was all of the parts of our dear mankind's body, were all of, sorry, rewind and start again, getting stuck here, aren't I, my delicious little babies? Well, was all of the parts of mankind's, God love them all, their bodies all being put back in a bag? This is a question, my delicious little babies, do you see? But this is a really interesting video, my delicious little babies, and I would really strongly suggest that, there we are, that you listen to this video. Please and thank you, my delicious little babies, okay? Because as we very well know, there we are, everything's for sale on this earth, it seems, my delicious little babies, okay? So that's what I have to say there, and God bless everybody. That's all I can say. But am I new to my thoughts about this or other things now that I've heard? No, not at all, okay? But of course, when I go back years, there we are, years ago, I just never kept the information. I never wrote it down. There we are, when I should have done. Do you see what I mean? But at that time, I just did not. You know, sometimes I can be very annoyed at myself, my delicious little babies, okay? Now then, talking about things for sale now, something that pees me off, my delicious little babies, I'm just going to be done saying it, okay? What pees me off is that you've got Ukraine, that putrid Ukraine, and putrid Prague, okay? I've known others who've been to Prague, my delicious little babies, whether they've been on stag do's or whatever it is, okay? And they say, oh, yes, it's really lovely, you know, the buildings, everything's really lovely, you know, when you go around and look at the scenery. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? Yes. But what ones I feel are really not talking much about, okay, is, let's just say, dear young lassies, young women. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? Where it appears that they're not in the position where they can just walk out of their job role, shall we say, because 9 times out of 10, there we are, before I even say it, they're being put there we are, against their wishes. But of course, we're not hearing much about that, are we, my delicious little babies? And God bless Redacted. They're on YouTube, my delicious little babies. I do advertise them rather regularly, just the same as a UK column, and God bless them all, okay? And with anybody not in that way, not in that way. Well, you know, they've started to mention, do you see what I mean? God bless them, yes? I mean, they've probably been mentioning other things now previously, okay? But we're not hearing enough about this. Now, those young lassies, those young women are somebody's daughter, somebody's granddaughter, somebody's sister, somebody's auntie, somebody's niece. And they have not got that option to just say, okay, I quit my role and now I'm trapping. They do not have that option because they have been forced into sex slavery. There we are, my delicious little babies. And usually with 30 men a day. Okay, my delicious little babies, so I'm not coming onto my camera today to upset, to hurt, to offend anybody or to speak out of line. I just want to talk, there we are, about things now, ding, ding, dong, dong, which need, there we are, talking about. And I'll go back to it again, there we are, I'm going to repeat it again because it's played on my noddle for days, okay? So to myself, I feel as though there's, I don't know, there's something, do you see what I mean, okay? Like when we go back years ago when they were asking to hire models. Oh, yes. And of course, you know, these young lassies, God love them, they knew no different. So they thought that they were going to be going, you know, to do modelling. Anyway, we know about, there we are, the modelling business, don't we, my delicious little babies, if you follow me. Do you see? Okay, the ones who just simply, simple things do modelling, well, God bless them, there we are. Do you see what I mean? They're very lucky, it seems, very fortunate, but for others, not so. Usually, you know, a favour or two, there we are, or 3 now, isn't it? Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? But these young lassies, getting back to this now then, you know, what they were told and how, God bless them, how they ended up is quite a different story, my delicious little babies. And we can go back well past, there we are, a few decades ago. There we are. Okay, my delicious little babies? They do not have a choice. And 9 times out of 10, the families never see them again. I take things like this now, there we are, extremely seriously, my delicious little babies. There we are, yes I do. Do you see? And I want to point it out, and God bless any of those dear, God love them, dear lassies and dear women there now then. See, stumbled again, didn't I? Do you see? With the lying effers. Oh, and just for good measure, and, you know, I'm not saying that as in ha-ha, okay, my delicious babies. Usually the one who's, you know, sort of reeled them in is usually the first one to flipping give them one slap in the bird race, push them down and rape them first. There we are. Okay, my delicious babies, you know, he has to get his cut first before any other man gets it now, isn't it? Dirty effers. I know what I would do. my delicious little babies, okay? You know that film, Death Wish? I used to love those films, Death Wish. Last time when I mentioned Death Wish on one of my videos, my delicious little babies, that video, there we are, got removed. But what I loved about that film, was it Charles Bronson? What I loved about that film, the one with the moustache and everything, okay, is that he'd just sit at a window, there we are, and just wait. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? I do not regard myself as being a wicked, nasty or putrid woman, no. What I regard myself as a woman now, okay? Because I'm no lady. Because ladies usually sit on their effing holes with long, fake nails and do jack effing shart all day. Do not know what a effing flipping dustpan or flipping duster is. My delicious little babies, do you see? So I'm not talking about you silly little bitches there now. I'm a woman. There we are, all woman. So I'll get myself stuck into things now. Do you know what I mean? If I was on a farm, I'll be doing farming. Do you know what I mean? Just as an example, if I was a mechanic, I'll be doing mechanics. Do you see what I mean? Yes, not afraid to get my hands dirty now then, isn't it? You see? But the way I regard myself is that I'm very passionate about what I talk about. Do you see, my delicious little babies, okay? Even to the point to my heart, do you see? Because no dear young lass, no dear young woman should ever be put in that situation. But because they've made it in the world where they, you've even got songs, isn't it, stumbling again? Oh, this is a man's world. F off, nicely. I get along with men far better than I do women. My delicious little babies, and that's the truth. Like I said, I only have a small circle, there we are, of my beautiful dear little friends, yes, okay. I'll always talk to other women now then, do you know what I mean? But I have my small circle, do you see what I mean? I do prefer to be in men's company, but if we go back decades and decades ago, and I'm going to repeat it again, what it was, my delicious little babies, okay, is that women ruled. They could have up to 4 husbands, not your man here now. What's happened with history is they've turned it around. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? And that's why they like to keep women, there we are, as far down as possible, my delicious little babies. Do you see? Okay? So it's the putrid who, there we are, have done this. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? But for you, dear women and dear, I say ladies out there, okay, just remember that many decades ago, there we are, it was the other way around. Do you see? See how history changes, my delicious little babies. See, stumbling again, stumble. I've been doing on my video today, my delicious little babies. Anyway, I'm not changing it. Now, finally, my delicious little babies. So I've had a rather interesting day today, okay? So not far from myself, okay, there's, well, you got rows of 3-bedroomed houses, my delicious little babies, and one of the houses happens to have 8, okay? Well, now it's -8, it's now 6. But at 300 and 350 per head, that's per man or per woman. Okay, my delicious babies, in a 3-bedrooms, there we are, house now then. Okay, now the woman who appears to be running it, okay, she's, I don't know whether she's Indian or whether she's Muslim. I'm not sure anyway, my delicious babies, but she said that she had an agent looking after it. Okay, now I spoke to her off the camera, okay, my delicious babies, and she said that the agent is no longer available. He's gone. Okay, my delicious babies. So you imagine a 3-bedroomed property, okay, So, you know, usually in one bedroom, you'd have a couple, wouldn't you? Okay. Or you'd maybe have, you know, you got young bairns, or say if you're a mummy or daddy, or a mum or a dad. So you'd have one room for the mummy and daddy, or mum and dad, you know, or dad, sorry. Then you'd have the other bedrooms for the other little bairns. Do you see what I mean? Yes, okay. Well, not in this case. Now, your woman there tried to tell me that there was 3 bathrooms in that property. I do not know how there can be 3 bathrooms in that property. I probably would have said maybe a toilet at the bottom and then a bathroom upstairs, I would have said, okay, unless they've done any extensions or something. But 9 times out of 10, there's certainly not 3 bathrooms in that property. I'm getting nothing across my shoulders, so that's, there we are again, is a crock of effing shat. Now, what this was all about, my little babies, and I did pop up a little shorty video. There is another part to a video that I've got to put up at okay, my little babies, but I do need to trim it to take out one's bird traces, because they did not want, you know, to be on the camera, which is understandable, my little babies, okay? You know, which it shows footage of the house and everything. I mean, how your woman there has got away with per head 300 and 350 a month, my delicious little babies, and it's £200 squids, ka-ching, 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 that's deposit, okay? So what's happened today, my delicious little babies, is that, you see, these 2 young gentlemen, God bless them, have come over from India, okay? Now, I'd even said to your woman there, I said, but did you not explain, did you not have it all down on paper, you know, and that they need to give a month's, you know, notice? And she said, no, she said, the agent dealt with it all. She said, but now he's gone. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? Now, apparently, they are students, okay? But anyway, they wanted their ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching back. But I happened to be walking past this morning, this afternoon, and then I asked them, I said, well, what's going on? I said, you've been stood here all day. Well, your woman there, the land woman, okay, she will not let them get their clothes out of the property, okay, my delicious babies. Now, while I was there, I actually, there we are, managed to talk around. I did, okay, my delicious little babies, where she was going to allow them to go in to go and get their clothes. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay, but of course then they wouldn't have anything of it. They said no. They said because they wanted their 200 each squids back so that they could go up to Liverpool. Okay, my delicious little babies. Well, anyway, so then there we are. It just all went back to square one. And eventually, because to be quite honest, it was sunshining a bit at that time. And I just thought, well, the last thing that I want to be doing is being stood there. Do you see what I mean? So I did my part to try and help, you know, and to be fair, she was very pleasant to me. Okay, my delicious babies, and she was explaining, yes. But I said to her, I said, well, let it be a lesson to yourself and anybody else. I said, but please make everything clear. I even said to them, I said, they go on to some, it's a company called Resolver in the UK. So if there happens to be some sort of an issue, I asked the one to tap it into his dog and bone. I said, then go on to that. I said, you'll then have her, I said it all in front of your woman there now as well, the land woman. And I said, and then go on to that. I said, where then you can resolve it through this other company. Do you know what I mean? That's the first thing that come to my noddle. Do you see what I mean? I was just trying to help, but they could have just got the stuff. But the reason why they wouldn't give the key back is because they said, well, if we go and get our stuff out of our room, then, and we hand the key back, well, she's not going to give us our deposit back. And apparently, according to what these 2 young gentlemen, these two young men, told me, is that others, because news travels fast, that she hasn't returned anybody else's deposits either. So you're probably wondering, well, why am I chatting about this? Well, I'm going to explain to you, because at the end of the day, you know, if they haven't done anything wrong to the rooms or anywhere else, well, there we are. They should be entitled to their deposit back. You see? But when your woman there's not wanting to give it back, and apparently it's not just those two, it's others, okay? There we are. Well, this is very questionable, isn't it, my delicious little babies? Do you say? Of course, she was telling me a whole different story. They were telling me a whole different story. Do you see what I mean? Okay? She was saying that they do not know how to keep anything clean. Well, I said, well, what would that hurt you? If you're paying somebody, say, £8 an hour, 8 squids, ka-ching, you know, to go in for a couple of hours and just clean the room. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? You know, probably clean all the top deck or whatever it is. Do you see what I mean? Yes, and then, you know, if need be, then deduct that part from the deposit. Are you following me, my delicious little babies? Yes? But to keep the whole of the ka-ching, 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 that's £400 with 2 young men. I mean, and if she's not handing back any other deposits, there we are. Then what is this telling you, my delicious little babies, okay? Then she was telling me, you know, that they do not know about the English law. You know, they've came from India to here. She said they know fully well. She said that they're nasty, and she said that, you know, they want their ka-ching so that they can give it to somebody else. Do you see what I mean? But she was also pointing out that they have like a 25 grand loan, you know what I mean, to do their studies. You know, so she's saying, so they have got cash. Okay, anyway, this went on for a while, my delicious little babies. There is another part of a video, you know, that I actually filmed, okay? But like I said, I've got to trim it all down, you know, so that nobody's birth races are saying yes. But yes, in the end, I just went, because I just thought, you know what? I mean, she was willing, you know, and I will say that, to be fair. It was those 2 young men who just said no, so there's nothing more I could do. I mean, to be fair, your woman there was going to drive off. And I said, please, I said, you know, let's just try and find a way to resolve this. Do you know what I mean? Because I'd seen them, you know, stood out in the morning, then in the afternoon, you know, but they were just having none of it. So I did my part, my delicious babies. I was just trying to help. But of course, I knew the neighbour who has just rented out their the house next door. Okay, and that's shared accommodation as well, my delicious little babies, do you say? So there seems to be, there we are, something going on, doesn't there, my delicious little babies? But then again, if we go back years, I mean, you know, I've watched videos on YouTube, my delicious little babies, where, I mean, you've had, there we are, 14 in one house. My delicious little babies, there we are, swear down, no joke. Do you see? So there's nothing new about it. It's just that because it's not far from where I live, okay, I just thought that I'd mention it. But yes, I mean, I'm not shocked. But because, you know, you see a lot of comings and goings, you know, if you happen to be walking. Do you see what I mean? Yes, but nevertheless, I just feel that really it's a lesson for herself and for anybody else, but she should really tap everything out to damn self, shouldn't she? You know what I mean? Not get somebody, an agent who, there we are, can no longer be located. Seem to see a lot of that. If you go back years ago as well, that's on YouTube as well, my delicious little babies. If you go back, so there we are, because I've looked at all this years ago, where, you know, like to do with the driving lessons and everything like that now. Then what they'll do, they'll pay somebody else to go in their place. This, there we are, this has been going on ding, ding, dong, dong years. Do you see? So, you know, I can only hope that there's 2 young men now then, you know, gentlemen, God bless them, that, you know, they'll just find somewhere. But they wanted their deposit back there and then. Well, it doesn't work that way, my delicious little babies. Not that I've known it to work that way, no. And if you was to ask anybody else, there we are, they would tell you the same. You don't get it back on the same day. You see, but what she was talking about is that they had 20 days to go. You see, but what happened was they only let her know on the 8th of June. Well, now we're on the 14th of June. Do you see? That's not enough time. So I do understand what your woman there was telling me, you know, what the way she was explaining it. Do you see? And I explained to you young men there, I says, no, I said, what she's saying is that, you know, basically, and in the UK, that you have to give a month's notice, you see. But what they were saying was, the two young men, they were saying, no, she never told us this. We was not told. So this is where can you see the crossover, the crisscross has gone on? Can you see what I mean, my delicious babies? Oh, and just one last thing. So I was out walking yesterday, my delicious little babies, okay? And I don't know if you remember, I said it on one of my videos, I think it's a couple of months ago now, or 3 months ago, where I've been seeing videos talking about that they're going to be bringing back asylums, you know, God bless, you know, mental asylums. Okay, my delicious little babies, because, you know, because over the years, you know, they become derelict. I've seen many of them, okay? They become derelict and then you no longer see them. And you also have some who go, there we are, ghost hunting. One of them is lovely, not in that way, lovely Exploring with Farters, okay, on YouTube, Exploring with Farters, okay? And they've been to them as well. And then there's been other who do ghost hunting, and then they go into these asylums and they pick up all different types of energy. You know, it's sad. It's so sad. But anyway, I'd already mentioned, you know, about the asylums. But anyway, but I've known about them long time, years, okay? Yes. So anyway, so I was out and about. I was talking to this dear woman, oh, God bless. And she was telling me, was it her family friend had taken, very sadly, the jibby jab, okay, and my heart, like I always say, goes out to everybody apart from the ones who are pushing it, and that includes YouTubers getting paid ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching to do this now then, only to find themselves effing ill. Do you see what I mean, my delicious babies, okay? The putrid effing box in the corner of the room. Those putrid pieces of effing shart. They call themselves journalists, media. F off nasty, and F off nasty to the YouTubers as well. And anybody else, there we are, who was pushing this putrid snake oil shart. Okay? My delicious little babies, okay? That's what I've got to say there. But getting back to this now then. To this dear woman who I bumped into, and I got, you know, just chatting to her just for a short time, my delicious little baby. And she did thank me because she had like a dog and bone with her, and I give her different places to go on. I made suggestions what to get into the systems. Do you see what I mean? There we are, that can help situations. And she was telling me that it's a family friend, took, like I just said, the jibby jab. That's what I call it. And very sadly, it has sent her insane. You know, because when your dear woman there said to me, she said she's gone mad. You know, and I thought, I said, so what did you just say? She said, no, she said that has sent a family friend mad. Well, of course, this is the first dear woman who I spoke to that I've heard this, okay? Although I have heard other things now over these years since the rollout of the snake oil. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? But I haven't physically spoken to somebody, you know, who has said what very sadly one of these side effects have caused. Do you see what I mean? But apparently, this you know, poor you know, family friend. There we are. She's in a real bad way. Mad delicious baby. And the dear woman was also telling me. She said somebody else again. It's to do with friends of the family. Sent them deaf and blind. Okay, mad delicious babies, which I already know because there was a beautiful little Polish couple. I did mention it actually not long after I started my videos, mad delicious babies, and they decided they loved it here, and because they were a husband and wife, and they had two little babies, you know, like a little 5-year-old and a little baby. And they loved it here, and you know, he loved his job, you know, his dear little wife, she stayed at home, you know, with the, you know, with their little babies, and he went out to work, God bless him, dear little soul. And they're his cousin, not theirs, his cousin. Well, I suppose it's theirs because they're married, aren't they? My delicious little babies. So, you know, what's his is hers, hers is his, isn't it? And their cousin in Poland went blind. My delicious little babies. And it was at that point where they said, we're going to go back home. They never wanted to go back home, but they wanted to be closer to family. And because, you know, because we were all on the same song sheet, you know, talking about things now, okay? We're all on the same levels, the three of us, yes? And to do with the food, to do with everything. And he said, no, he says, we're better off going back home. But God bless them. I remember, there we are, they were so upset, you know, because they'd made their home here for years. Do you see what I mean? My delicious little babies. Oh, they're so beautiful. I remember their names now. In fact, I do know somebody who's friends of theirs who's keeps in touch with them. Okay, they all keep in touch. Oh, God bless them, with each other, okay? But of course, it's a different life when they went back home, because you had massive fields, you know, then where they live, it's, you know, it's a lot of greenery and everything, and you know, it's a different life. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, so they loved being home, but they loved it here as well. Okay, but it was only because of the COVID, you know, and everything that happened. That's why they went back home. My delicious babies. But I mean, how sad for everybody. But that dear woman as well, and their dear, you know, cousin, you know, what happened going blind. But, you know, and she was telling me, I mean, please, dear God, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, you know, that dear family friend, there we are, that she can get help, that they all can get help. Do you see what I mean? Okay. But of course, very sadly, there we are, we're going to continue hearing these things now. Do you see? This is not the end, not by any stretch. The damage, there we are, that has been caused. Okay, my delicious babies. Anyway, I've got nothing more to say. So, wherever you are in the world, have a super duper delicious time. You only get one life. So true, my delicious babies. So true. And please take care of yourselves, and please try to take care of others, okay? Because everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs somebody to love. You know that song, My Delicious Little Babies, yes? And may your beautiful little selves and your beautiful little families all be fully protected, and sending peace, love, harmony and bright blessings to each and every one of you, and how I love you also. Okay, so until my next video, so much love, God bless. Please do take care of yourselves, if it's morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are. Have a beautiful, super duper and delicious time. Okay, so until my next video, God bless. Thank you for listening. Thank you for any likes. Love you all, sir. God bless. Bye-bye.